Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Mr. Secretary. I'm over here. Back to the tax credits. Is there a metrics in place that you have given to your secretaries, especially in DCED, to evaluate the tax credit programs?
No, as a matter of fact, what we would like to do is work with the General Assembly to do that. We in the past, and we'll plead guilty, but maybe in some ways we haven't always looked at those tax credit expenditures in the same way we look at general fund expenditures. And as we've already talked about, and again, not to belabor the point to take up time on your clock, but each dollar spent and awarded for a tax credit, is still an expenditure of taxpayer dollars. We want to have the appropriate metrics in place to evaluate those programs.
Okay, so really, when you talk about it being a cut, it's not a cut. It's actually any dollar you take out of the tax credit program is an increase in revenue, correct?
I certainly don't want to get in any argument over semantics. It saves, in this case, for the state's taxpayers, if we reduce the award of tax credits, taxpayers are off the hook for $100 million in obligations that the taxpayers otherwise have to pay for.
Okay, so the EITC, OSTC program, you can do a 2-year commitment, get a 90% tax credit in millions. How much are already committed for 2 years?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I'll provide that to you.
Thank you. While you're doing that, can you take a look at what you believe the economic impact is on our public school districts for having these EITC and OST tax credits? Because I believe it's significant in the fact that if these families that can't afford to be in non-public schools lose these scholarships and end up in our public schools, the impact is great. And there should be an overall economic impact study done on what that will do to our local school districts right up to the state for our contributions to those school districts.
Sure, we would agree, and we think we should also be taking a careful look at the economic opportunities that are afforded to those students and the quality of the education that they then receive with those credits.
Great, and I've brought it up multiple times. Our real estate sales in this Commonwealth, I feel, and I think many members also feel, that we do not capitalize on the revenue that we could potentially be bringing in if we looked at real estate in a different way versus just mothballing and selling as quick as possible to the first bidder or to the group that comes through with some exciting plan. We need to really step that up. We've offered to meet and discuss. Was any of that part of the McKinsey report?
I think that when McKinsey worked with us to put the proposed budget plan together this year, they did take a look at that and worked with our Secretary Topper and the Department of General Services. Part of our proposed budget is a proposed package to revise the process to dispose of property that's currently held by the Commonwealth. Again, that's something important that we do want to work with the General Assembly on, and we would like to work with the General Assembly actually in an expedited capacity if we can. It's something I've already had a personal conversation with Chairman Saylor about, something we take very seriously. We believe that important steps can be taken to reduce the Commonwealth's footprint, and we have surplus property that we want to dispose of, to your point, in the most responsible way. And some of that property that we now hold, we actually have costs involved to maintain that property in the interim. So it's not only a matter of revenue.
But if we change the way we do business,
yes,
we can put the people that want to buy those properties on the line to maintain those properties while they're going for approvals to change the zoning or whatever needs to happen in order for a transaction to close. It's all in how you put it in the contract.
Yeah, there are very significant incentives, changes that Secretary Topper, again, wants to take the lead, wants to work with the General Assembly to enact, and we want to work with you to the extent that you have further suggestions or recommendations to to enact.
I'm glad you want to work with us. I really want to look at this tax credit program. I feel like the low-hanging fruit from what I'm hearing is EITC, OSTC, and I think it's a big mistake. I think it helps some of our poorest of the poor, but it helps so many families in Pennsylvania maintain a good quality education. It also allows our public schools to be stronger by having reduced class sizes. They'll only grow. So I hope that that's going to be a serious look ahead before we make any decisions on those programs. Thank you.
Thank you.